Okay, well, hello everyone. My name is Arthur Lumsey Jr., and I serve as the Director of Career Services.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Polk, and I go by Jackie, and I serve as a career advisor at UNT Dallas Office of Career Services.
And today we're here to talk about navigating your job search during COVID-19. As you can imagine, this is a very tumultuous, stressful time. And with all of the things that you hear on the news and may hear from family members, friends, colleagues, peers, uh, it can add a lot of stress. But with that being said, we wanted to help to alleviate some of the stress and paint a clear picture of action items and things that you can do right now and in the future that will set you up for success and help prepare you for your job search going forward. So I guess the first thing we want to talk about is the job market. As you guys know, I think the latest stat I read that all of the jobs that were created during the past administration, I believe some 26 million jobs have been lost in a short amount of time. And that's scary. That's a lot. But then and some businesses you've probably heard have said that they're temporarily closing down. But with that being said, temporary doesn't mean permanent. So we have to keep that in mind that yes, there are businesses that are going away, but then there are also during this time, there are going to be businesses that are going to be started. So you have to think of it as a shift in hiring and as some would like to coin it, the rise of remote work. A lot of opportunities are going to be uh, coming online that allow for people to work from home, like Jackie and I are doing right now, which is pretty cool.
And I think another big thing because I think the biggest fear with COVID-19 is the shift on what work can be done from home and what work really ideally is not done from home. And so that's where it's taken a lot of time for us to determine what does that look like. And so this is why I like dialogues. So what I really we can look at is one thing I want you to write down on your LinkedIn. This is where you network. People have more time at home now to check LinkedIn messages. Before they were at work. So remember the turnaround is going to look different. So LinkedIn. The second one, you're going to have to determine what area do you want to start with in psychology. Psychology is a study of people, their minds, their behaviors. So I remember we mentioned if that's starting on the counseling end, if that's starting on the research end. If we're looking for immediate jobs, telehealth is big.
Yeah.
Someone talking through to refer, someone working in case management, anything in the health industry is going to be really big right now because if I'm not sick with COVID-19, I'm probably having more mental distress because of COVID-19.
Right.
So that may be a great way as a student, and there's different internships that you can look through for those. But that may be a good way immediately that you can start looking at, and they do pay. Also, some of them are part-time. So one thing I always tell people, don't be scared of part-time work. If internships are typically like part-time, the only difference they give you a lot of leeway. But if I can get money, benefits, and experience, then a part-time position is something I'm interested in learning more about will be as valuable as an internship. So if you can't see an internship that directly aligns with what you're wanting to do, don't be too scared of part-time. Because I know that you have the one you wrote and you're like, I'm trying to figure all that out, finish it up. So yes, so part-time work may also be a very viable option for you as things shift back. And I think what we were looking at, some businesses have closed, but closures does not mean they won't reopen. Most of the time, those closures come from the kind of city ordinance, if that makes sense. Shields on every wall, So those things. So even if you see a business may be closed, does not mean permanently. When you think of remote work, you want to think of skills. So another point to point out, do you have the skills in regards to, can I work from home? Do technology. Am I using different software? Software is a Microsoft Office. So Word, PowerPoint, Excel. These are things that companies are paying for because I can send you a computer do work. But if you're not comfortable using the computer, if you're not comfortable using those softwares, then they're like, well, you have to have the more tangible skills at an actual company. So that's the only difference there. And so I'm gonna let Arthur, you have anything to chime in? But
Change is good, especially in times like this. When I think of change, I think of adaptability and agility, two skills that are definitely going to be needed during times like this. And it's like you're able to think of this analogy, just like you change your hair and it's a big switch. Sometimes changing our mindset or changing our skills is a big switch. And we have to make sure that we take those steps necessary to stand out among our peers that are not just here in Dallas or at UNT Dallas, but at the other institutions or in the Metroplex or in the state of Texas or in the United States. Because the one thing this is teaching us is that the playing field is being leveled, and who can utilize the technology the best and the most are going to be the ones who can stand out.
and so basically, there are some key steps. You have to do your research on your current market, and this is in general across when looking at job searching during COVID-19. You need to do research on your job market. That can be easily done through Google. You can go on CNN, business, things like that are going to give you some good concrete facts to know about your job market. You want to look for industries that are hiring. You mentioned psychology, healthcare services right now are hiring. As we mentioned when we had met, the biggest thing that you have to determine what are behaviors are you really trying to champion. So I remember you mentioned, okay, I'm in psychology class. I want to work with this group of people. I want to work with these type of issues. That is going to give you more of a heads up when it comes to psychology. But another step, so step 4 when you're job searching, is going to be maximizing your online presence and getting comfortable with networking online. So as I mentioned earlier, getting on LinkedIn.
Right.
Date and review all your social media accounts. COVID-19 may stop us from going out and being close to people, but there is power in individuals who know how to maximize being socially aware, being there, being in the know. Again, on LinkedIn, follow the companies that you may be interested in and repost what they're posting. Read through it and post what you believe on it. Those things are going to be valuable because, again, you have recruiters at home now. So that's to anybody. Recruiters are at home. And so they have more time to utilize LinkedIn and look through your LinkedIn if you're applying on Indeed. I literally have been troubleshooting with students, and the turnaround for most recruiters now has been about 2 to 3 days. That's when they can look and basically they want to get a feel of you before they talk to you. But how can they get a vibe about who you are if none of your things are updated?
Right.
So take a little bit of time updating that. Also join professional groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, if Instagram, those things is because now people have time to see who's in the group. To say, okay, let me look at the student affairs professional group that I'm in. Let me see what they're doing. I have time to do it more than I did in person because when we're in person, we're moving, right?
Right.
Or if I'm sitting down busy. So being able to leverage that. So again, maximize your online presence, and then networking is going to be so big right now because when people are coming out of it, they remember the people who are posting, even if it's just positive things. I've had some people on their LinkedIn be positive, social distancing. They're even just engaging on as in a whole, which companies like that because again, they're not just hiring a robot, they're hiring a person. Is where professionally, so if you go to my Facebook, you would see my 4-year-old son and you would be like, okay, she loves being with her kid, right? Is if they went to my LinkedIn, they would totally see, okay, she's into helping, she's into career, she's into motivational things. So it gives me the opportunity to switch between both things. But when they're talking about hiring me, if my LinkedIn is updated, they get a vibe about who I am professionally, not even actively seeking. But because my profile is updated, they're like, hey, are you interested in these type of roles? Because their job is to get viable candidates to their clients. See, it's getting that, building that traction. Also, here's a secret key. Do you live in the Dallas County or around DFW area? Dallas jobs, Fort Worth jobs. Hashtags hold power because that means recruiters in those areas, they search hashtags. Make sure that you're following the city of Dallas, the city of Fort Worth, the city of Arlington. Follow the cities because guess what? After COVID-19, they realized we probably need some new roles and jobs open in their city. The recruiters are seeing it. So when you're applying and they see your LinkedIn, they're going to see that you've already been actively engaged in their company's website. So again, that's how you're maximizing that online and networking, because you can network without having to talk. Networking is you. What does that look like? Another big thing is virtual information, virtual hiring events, virtual coffee chats, things like this, because right now people are just kind of like sitting, right? This Entrepreneurship Center that we're talking about influencers and entrepreneurs. This is like the best time to kind of pick people's brains. I think I'm bothering them, but the reality is you don't bother anybody when you reach out and you're just asking. They actually want to talk to you. And the virtual hiring, kind of like the career fairs, I love internships. But also, reality is that sometimes we have skills ready to jump right into part-time or full-time. We're going to be searching for internships. We might as well be looking for part-time. And how you do that virtual hiring events, because again, part-time lets them know that you're probably going to be doing 20 to 25 hours. They know that you're probably trying to gain exposure. So, utilizing these tools is going to help you stand out. Another one is stay in touch. Follow-up is big right now. Follow up. So that means if you talk to someone on LinkedIn, you got to follow up with them. My key rule is follow up at least within 2 business days at minimum. But follow up is so important. You want to stay in their inbox. You want to stay in Messenger, not where you're nagging, not where it's becoming a nuisance, but really following up where you're asking detailed questions, where you've read content and you have really genuine insight about the company. Maybe you reached out to a supervisor because you want to say, hey, I want to do clinical research. And I know that I'm hiring. That's where I want you to make the note. Stay in touch is narrowing down who's going to be best for your network, who can give you the best insight, and who are those key people that you can be connecting with. So you're looking for insight. You're looking for who they can leverage their networks, because there's research that's going to come out. What are the effects of COVID-19?
Definitely both. The great thing about Handshake is that companies that post on Handshake are wanting to recruit UNT Dallas students, versus LinkedIn is going to be
a great job. I would say Handshake is immediate. They want our students, they know our majors, and they really want to connect. LinkedIn is where you can start seeing professors who don't even teach at our institution that may be doing research and where you're interested. So again, I'd say right now, especially because your focus is internships, leverage Handshake, a real like immediate, make sure everything's updated. But when you're networking, leverage that LinkedIn. Your world is going to be the research. It's going to be understanding, talking about the abstract, figuring out the unknown. And so you want to already kind of talk to people that are championing those questions currently. And that's what LinkedIn is going to be able to let you connect. And the thing is, comment on LinkedIn posts. So as you're reading them, it's great to comment. It's great. Again, I'll tell people sometimes we can be very opinionated. We can have our own thoughts. So I say be mindful, share what you believe is most comfortable for you to share. And again, if you're very emotional or highly driven or passionate about a topic, I would say be cautious, because you never want to sell yourself as maybe that's not what I wanted someone to gather about me putting something out there. But I would say share. The more you're sharing, especially in your world, the more they're able to really see where your passion lies when it comes to psychology. Because psychology, again, is just a study of the behaviors, how people think in relation to the behavior. So you get the opportunity to make that your own. My undergrad was psychology and child to family development. So I had a great opportunity to say I wanted to work with people on motivating them, guiding them, helping them. So I knew that I wanted to pursue counseling and business. They do IO. So they work about how can they help people be most effective in their business. So again, you can take psychology wherever you want. So you're not limited. So I always say pick your top 3, and that goes for anybody. Pick your top 3 areas that you want to capitalize on job searching. So we don't want to be you're not desperate for a job. Employers want you as much as you want a good company. So remember, it's a relationship. We don't want you nervous about it, because sometimes well, any job I get will be great. Well, the reality is they want you as much as you want them, and they're really here to meet you halfway. It's not about beg to be with us. You better be the best, the unicorn. That's not the goal with employers. Sometimes that's like the stigma, but it's not. They just want to make sure that you're a great fit for that role, and you want to make sure that that's a great fit company that fits where your professional personal and professional goals align. And the big thing is, so example with emails. So I know that sometimes, just to make sure, and I'm gonna recap just so that you can make sure you have it written down. Always do your job market search. Okay, that's number one, and that's where we narrow it down to three. So find your top three type of roles. So for you, an example: psychology, psychology with children, psychology with adults, psychology in the criminal justice field. You need to narrow it down to three, so then you can do the current job market. Then you need, the second one is going to be looking for industries that are hiring. Right now, as much as we love to say we like to eat out, maybe studying a psychology of customer service right now would be kind of minimum, because there's not a lot of jobs where people can be, as field you're going to look in is, I'm going to say, healthcare services and nonprofits would best align with you. And get comfortable networking online. And that's where we said leverage Handshake and LinkedIn. That's when you're doing virtual events. That's when you're reposting and you're getting involved in chats. Kind of, again, that social network. Then the next one is stay in touch. And that is your follow-up. So like Arthur was saying, on Handshake, they're looking for UNT Dallas students. LinkedIn is looking for people who want just to have the passion to be in certain fields. So you want to leverage both, stay in contact. A lot of our recruiters, we can't see when recruiters are reaching out. So always check it, make sure it's up to date. Ask us questions. We say, if there's anything with Handshake, ask us questions. Arthur is like our champion with Handshake. So literally it's arthur.lumsey. You put that, UNT Dallas, edu, you write a question. He's really good with our employers and see who we're already connected with. So leverage that. Like right now, we want you to leverage that with us.
A really good example. Oh,
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, Metro Care Services, like they're actually hosting a virtual information session with our students. Next, it was rescheduled to the 27th at 3 p.m.
Yes, most people don't pay attention to. When you research companies, you need to look at their company's website. So how we go on Indeed, and Indeed has kind of upped its game where you can apply directly on the company's website. But you want to take time, instead of just immediately applying, like quick apply, right?
Right.
Well, take a little more time in researching that company. One big thing, you want to see how that company treated its employees during COVID-19. Was there opportunities to work from home? Did they have systems set up that could support? What was that look? Because guess what? This may not be the last time we see something of this matter. Company has some investment for me. And it's not a bad thing if they don't, because most people don't know until you know. So it doesn't speak bad on the company if they don't have anything. It just lets you know that maybe that's a question you ask in your interview.
Yeah.
You know, so that just gives you some speaking things. Also, you want to, so the websites we use is Glassdoor, has good interview questions, has good salary ranges. It lets you kind of see networking. It has some posted jobs there. So Glassdoor is a good resource when gathering information. We already talked about LinkedIn as well. And then Google alerts, jobs in your area, they let you customize and have as many alerts for certain jobs. And what I like about Google is that Google, again, is a search engine. Search engine, they're going to have it. And let's be honest, who probably doesn't have Google on their phone? So those are how you research a company. Another one is skills. My favorite line is skills pay the bills. So you want to take time to write down what skills you have. And don't worry so much about what you don't have yet, because companies, all companies, we all want the unicorn, right? We want you got everything. But the reality is companies also like to know where they can help you grow at. So if you don't have every skill that's on that job posting, that don't let that keep you from applying. You always talk about what you're good at. What you're good at is more important, because if you're really good at that, then I can help you grow in other areas. So that's why I want you. So it's a confidence game when job searching. So that's like a little side note. You got to keep your confidence high. You have to know that what you have is valuable, and that's what you're selling to a company. And I'm going to let Arthur speak a little more on it, but we have something where it's saying commit yourself to being a lifelong learner. I'm going to let him elaborate a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So times like these, you know, things can happen. But when you have free time, you basically want to make sure that you're always investing in yourself, whether it's through upskilling or through reskilling, meaning learning new skills. And there are several sites that you can take advantage of. One of my favorites is YouTube. Believe it or not, if there's something that I don't know, YouTube is probably going to be the first place I'm going to go, whether it's home improvement to learning new technical skills. More often than not, there's somebody that's created a video on it that I can just use to watch maybe 5 minutes, 20 minutes, and at least try to tackle the issue or problem at hand. Again, to include this Zoom. One of the things that I'm learning now. So it's never discount yourself and always take advantage of the things that you can learn. There are also these things called MOOCs, which are basically mass open online courses that one could take either for free or at a reduced cost. So say for instance, there's like LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, Coursera, edX, Khan Academy, all great resources that are provided that if you're wanting to, say for instance, if there's something that you feel like you're not getting at our institution, or if you feel like there's, based on the types of job opportunities that you're wanting in the future, it's not gonna be there, but those are the opportunities that you're wanting to shoot for, by all means, invest in yourself, take the courses, whether they're free or spending some money. And the great thing about it, they offer certifications that then you can use to put on your resume and or on Columbia,
Wow.
Yale, Stanford, University of Michigan, several big name schools that have made their content available to others, in most instances free of charge.
It's always like, where do we put these things on our resume? How do we talk about it? So say for instance, Coursera, it has where it's $12.99 for a course, which can include like 50 different type of presentations, courses in itself. If you were like, okay, I want to learn more about the mental health state of individuals in South America, right? And you found a course on there that you're like, this is what I want to research. That still goes under related courses. So courses that you take do not always have to be in your degree plan in order for you to highlight and talk about those in a job interview or in your resume.
Oh,
So anything, if you find free trainings, these are things you still put on your resume. So they're not going to go through your transcript and say, oh, we didn't see that course. What they're wanting to know is when they're thinking about you as a whole person, what knowledge and skills can we combine? So anything you do still goes on your resume. Because I know some people say, well, I didn't do it in class, so can I put on my resume? Most definitely. So anything you do, please make sure you highlight that, have it on your resume. You highlight that you did that on your LinkedIn, on your handshake, because again, it's content that you're learning. So it's still the same value as if you were in an actual college course at a campus. So it holds the same value. If people, family is like always find a way to get you stuff, I tell my students especially, hey, you know what? This costs $15. I'm going to send you this link. Can you buy me some of these courses? I want to learn. Because sometimes, remember, our degrees at our campuses are giving you kind of like the bottom, right? The meat. And sometimes you're like, well, I want to know a little bit more about this. So that's where you connect with your professors. They'll tell you content that you may need to learn more about. It's a big one for me that I tell students. It's easy, very quick to use. ONET Online is controlled by our government. Again, like I mentioned in our session, everyone who gets a paycheck, some data goes to this website and bam. So ONET Online is a great way for you to also get some of your facts. What skills do I need? What is those different job titles? Because the scary part about job searching is I don't have enough job titles. It's like I'll run out. It's only so many ways you can say work with kids. ONET, literally, you put in psychology or put in helping people or you put in mental health or you put in research, they're going to have a bar at the top that says additional job titles. And they're going to talk about different ways people may categorize this job, but it's the same thing as the one you put into search. Healthcare industries, you're going to see have went up. So they may have been an increase by 12%. They could be at 15% now.
okay.
So you'll see a lot of the increases. You'll see a lot of them stay the same. And you'll see, so for instance, right now we knew that New York is being hit heavily because of the COVID-19. So when we think about that, that means jobs in the area that in healthcare, they're probably going to be even higher than if we had researched those in December.
Right.
Because again, people are still searching for jobs. So someone may say, you know what, I want to continue to be the hero that I knew I was called to be, they may relocate over to New York because now the New York is investing more money because they need more
Traveling nurse who's been deployed to the New York area.
our government needs as many people who can work to be working. So they're going to try to keep that most updated as they can. But also, I love it. My biggest thing is I love it because it kind of lists off those skills that you've probably seen. Because now, when you go on Coursera or Udemy or edX, any of these, you're going to notice, man, I know in my degree, I got to understand SPSS, but I really want to understand more because I realized that some of these positions are wanting me to be able to utilize that. So guess what? Coursera has a course on it. I say, you know what, family, y'all want to do a great deed. Guess what? It's $15. I can do this 50 PowerPoint type of course on SPSS, put that on my resume. When they call me, I'm able to actually talk about how to conduct research, collect data, and actually present things. Now I'm marketable versus only could say I had knowledge of. Because sometimes our degrees give us knowledge, but we need a little bit more knowledge. And at the moment, I always say these type of websites are the between getting another degree and getting a certification. It kind of gives you the wiggle room to learn so that when you do make the decision, I want to continue my education, you're even more confident in why you're choosing the next degree level. So that's why I love ONET, is because it allows me, and I still use it myself, like to kind of check where do I need to upskill, which means learn new skills or reskill. So although I know how to use Word, I've learned that I have not tapped into the world of Word, up my skills in Microsoft Teams. I thought I was good until I realized, because I'm like, I don't know. But then it made me, again, YouTube videos on how to do stuff. I'm still looking at how to best effectively advise and help people virtually because I still want them to know that I'm caring, I'm here. So again, I'm still learning how to do that because in my school we didn't necessarily have to worry about doing so many things online. So that's something I've had to really champion with different tools. So that's where I have to reskill and upskill, make those skills better. But again, we always say prepare for your video interviews. They will come. Most likely, I'm going to be honest, the advantage is that most people are scared to start applying for jobs more than what you know because of how maybe they're internalizing COVID-19. Maybe they have family impacted. Maybe it's just a lot of stress. And right now, a job is just not something they can put more energy to, which could be an advantage for you because now jobs are still looking to hire even if people aren't necessarily in position to want to apply.
Right.
So I do hope those have to, I always tell people, know your mental state, reach out for help, take a break. Because I know that a lot of this is like, it's weird that we have a little bit more free time, but you feel more stressed. Be patient with yourself. You don't know how awesome you are. That's why these employers want you all so much. That's why they're still posting. They know you're awesome. They want you. So be kind and be patient and know that this is new to everybody. But when you're preparing, like you did a good job of having dialogue through the video chats. And so what we like is that that's the same thing employers are wanting. The same personality, that same genuineness. You've already been practicing it. That's what we want during video interviews. So they don't want the robot, hi, my name is, like looking directly in camera. That's weird. So you can be there, but showing your personality. This is where people are actually able to connect with you because we're not in person. So sometimes we can't read body language or we're not able to be there to kind of feed off energy, right? So you're doing a good job already when preparing for interviews, but that's a big thing. Be preparing. So even if you know August is when you really need that to have the internship, be preparing into August. Practicing questions, scheduling appointments, thinking about the areas that you're not so confident in and asking questions. How can I build my confidence in that area? That's what we mean when we're saying really preparing yourself for video interviews. Those are really our biggest tips. We just want to make sure, and I'm going to go through it one more time just so that if you had any questions, and then the rest of the time will be just for you to ask us questions. But our number one thing is always acknowledge your current state and job market. So understand what that looks like. Look for industries that are hiring. Some industries are not in booming hiring, and that is okay. But look for the ones that are. Look for ways to maximize your online presence. Get comfortable networking online and make sure everything is updated, like completely updated, and that make sure you're following up. That's a big piece because we have a little bit more time. We don't get everything done. Like I've been trying to organize a closet for about 2 weeks. I have more time now, but for some reason, this closet is still not organized. Make sure we schedule some time out, maybe an hour or 2 hours a day where you're following up and you're reaching out to people, and you kind of have that every day that I'm going to do that, because repetition is going to be where people are going to see that you're serious about wanting that help and reaching out. And then make sure you research the company. This is a great time to research companies. I knew years past, people used to have companies. I want to work for Google. I want to work for this company. And I've noticed there's been a shift where people are like, I don't care what company, it's the work I want to do. But we do want to get back to being connected to the companies, because the more connected to the company, the more you reach out to Arthur and say, hey, this is a company. Do you know anybody? Arthur can champion that. The more you say, hey, Jackie, I want to prepare for this company. What is that? Can you help me understand how to prepare for it? So sometimes understanding companies you want to work for, and then boosting your skills. Find ways to boost your skills. The more you boost those skills, the more you're going to be confident, and the more those employers are going to already be able to see how awesome you are and how much work you can actually get done and who you want to impact. So that's really how you job search. It's the biggest thing is going to be the difference between a job search post pre-COVID-19 and during COVID-19 is this online presence, which is the following up, utilizing LinkedIn. Most people are not doing that. And right now, recruiters don't have the opportunity to come to our campus and look, or go to a community event. They are solely, they still have to get paid. So they're using LinkedIn. 80% of our recruiters utilize LinkedIn. So making sure that's updated. As much as I search to laugh on Facebook at different posts, make sure you're putting content that boosts you as that clinical researcher who is, I am interested. This is some new technology that I think is coming out. Things like that really help boost. And just not to get too much into the tech side of it, but LinkedIn is an AI system. So the more you put in it, the more it's going to read who you are, and it's going to naturally filter things that align with your interest.
Okay.
But if it doesn't have anything to do that, then you're going to get these vague, like, want to work in marketing type of roles. Because words and jobs and likes and things you're doing, the more you're going to see people that you're interested in are going to start filtering right into your kind of pool, your bubble. And that's going to be easier for you to start navigating that.
Remember to take care of yourself, take time for yourself, and worry about your physical and mental well-being. If that means getting up and taking a walk, or listening to your favorite song of music, or tackling a project, or just being okay with being okay. Just like we're going through, we have to have a mindset that we're going to get to the end and that we're going to make it. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And remember that just like we have to encourage our friends and family and colleagues, we have to encourage ourselves too. One of my favorite quotes that I have that a mentor shared with me is that crisis reveals character. That could be said for one who's going through things, or that could even be said for the companies that we aspire to work for. But keep in mind that we're not necessarily working for companies, we're working with companies, and we're working with people. So just like they're interviewing you, you have to make sure that you're interviewing them. And it's important that you know who your supervisor is, and that you know that they genuinely care about their employees. Because times like these can reflect how things can be.
That's good that you're able to identify that as well. Like literally, sometimes we don't realize how awesome we are. And I think that we don't hear it enough, because it's just like you said, maybe I should hurry up and get those papers done. So it's going to be a lot of the confidence knowing that they want you and they want to hire you. They just want to be able to see who you are, because we don't have the opportunities for you to be in face-to-face with them immediately. So the more you're showing how awesome you are, just being aware, hey, that's something I'm looking for in a company. Companies like to hear that confidence when it comes to that. Because if you're confident in yourself, you're going to be confident in the work that you're going to provide through their company. Humble, and they know that you're humble, that you want to learn. They love that you're confident in what you can bring. That's a big thing, because we're going to need you to be confident. And if that's helping someone develop research, they're going to need you confidence in the room. But overall, like Arthur said, take care of yourself. I did message, I'm messaging you on Handshake. Make an appointment. Let me know how I can best assist, even small things. So don't get nervous. Like, you be like, I think that's too small. Nothing's too small for us to help with at all. Like, we want to help because it makes this process a little less scary, because it is scary. It's scary, it's intimidating, and it's always changing.